When 29-year-old waitress Christina Godinez was struck and killed on Morse Road last summer, she was riding her bike at night because she had no other way to get to work.
There were times we had to give her a ride home. There's times we had to let her go early because the weather was incumbent. And at times I just saw her walk outside and standing, trying to ride a bike in the snow. I mean, it was a very hard thing.
Christina was on a bike because her license had been suspended for driving without insurance. And as a single mother of 5 children and making close to minimum wage, she just couldn't save enough money to pay the hundreds of dollars in state fees and court costs to get back on track. Christina is not alone.
The more we looked into it, we discovered this isn't a small problem, this isn't an isolated problem, this is a huge problem.
State Senator Peggy Lehner says there are close to 1 million drivers in Ohio with a suspended license. Like Chris Gregory, he was among the 50 or so people who showed up at this regularly scheduled court session in Franklin County that's devoted solely to people with a suspended license due to lack of insurance. Here they can get limited driving privileges. Gregory admits he was a repeat offender, but says he's not a bad driver.
Why did you continue to drive?
You kind of have to survive. You still need to get to work, go back and forth to the store, do what you got to do. Can't really live on the COTA bus.
Gregory has insurance now and has court permission to drive to and from work. But like so many others here, in order to get his license back, he still has to dig out from thousands of dollars in fines and reinstatement fees. For some, there's no way they'll be able to pay that off and get their license back. Magistrate David Jump sees it every week.
There are a lot of people who want to support their families and they want to do the right thing, and the way the system is set up, it's difficult for them to do that.
You probably don't know there are actually 46 different ways to have your license suspended in Ohio, and 18 of them have nothing at all to do with driving. For instance, you could lose your license if you're under 18 and get caught smoking, or if you let somebody else drive your car and they don't have a valid license. Senator Lehner says for too long, lawmakers have looked at driving privileges as a punishment of first resort.
One of the most common reasons why someone loses their license is for failure to pay child support. And it's sort of counterintuitive. It didn't make a lot of sense to me that you would take away someone's ability to earn a living and make a paycheck.
Maybe that made sense to someone at some time, but it's hard to find anyone now who thinks that taking the driver's license away from a guy who's having trouble making his child support payments is a good idea. Everyone we talked to agreed. Even prosecutors and judges think it's time to inject some common sense into that one and some of the other 46 types of suspensions.
Your license will be valid. You pay $475 and need your updated proof of insurance.
At the BMV's reinstatement office, a steady stream of drivers show up every day with proof of insurance and wads of cash, hoping to sort out their suspensions. College student Michelle Whitehead says her problem started when she forgot to pay the fine for having a missing light on her license plate. Then she moved and says she never received the suspension notice in the mail from the BMV.
I literally didn't know I had my license suspended. So after that, when I got pulled over, they arrested me because they issued a warrant for that ticket.
Most agree the changes needed are just common sense. Some of those likely to be considered by lawmakers this year will include giving people like Michelle more time to pay outstanding tickets before issuing a suspension, offering community service in some cases in lieu of a fine, and providing more opportunities for payment plans and limited driving privileges. Ted Hart, NBC4.